In this video series, we are going to be taking a look at algebra, starting off with the basics and looking into expanding brackets. So there are a few terms which we need to familiarize ourselves with. Starting off, simplify just means to collect like terms. So if we had 3x plus 8x, we simplify this to give us 11x. To expand simply means just to multiply out, usually brackets. So if we had this equation here, 3x brackets x plus 2 brackets, we simply just multiply out, which gives us 3x squared plus 6x. And lastly, to factorize just means to add brackets in, which is the opposite of expanding, which we just looked at. So using the same example from before, if we had 3x squared plus 6x and we wanted to factorize this, we simply just take out the common factor and add brackets in, which if we multiply out will give us the equation that we started with. Now looking at a few examples here, if we have a few unknown letters grouped together like this, that simply just means they are multiplied together. So ABC equals A multiplied by B multiplied by C. If we had AB squared, that simply just means A multiplied by B squared, so B times B. This one here is a big one that I see a lot of students get confused with. So if we have a bracket here, A plus B raised to the power of 2, that means that we need to rewrite this as double brackets. So a plus b to the power of 2 now becomes a plus b multiplied by a plus b. That is not the same as just simply squaring everything inside the bracket. So if we were to multiply everything out, that would give us a squared plus ab plus ab plus b squared, which is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Now that is very different to if we had just squared a and squared b, which would have given us a squared plus b squared. We would have missed out this middle bit here. So always remember, if you ever see a bracket raised to the power of 2 and we need to solve it, the first step is always just rewrite this as double brackets, expand and solve from there. And lastly, xy is the same thing as yx. The positioning of the letters don't make a difference. So that's something not to get confused with. Okay, moving on to expanding brackets. Starting off with single brackets. So in order to do this, all we need to do is simply just multiply whatever is outside of the bracket with whatever is inside the bracket. So this one, for example, 3x multiplied by 5 gives us 15x. It's a plus sign. 3x multiplied by 2x squared gives us 6x to the power of 3. Second one, same thing as before. Let's multiply out. This will give us minus 4x squared. Minus and a minus is a positive, plus 8. Moving on to double brackets now. Now, for these, we need to just simply multiply across in this order. So the first terms multiply together, then the outside term, the inside term, and the last term. So now that will give us x squared minus 2x plus 3x minus 6. We can simplify this. Same thing for the second question. Let's multiply out. gives us y squared minus 4y minus 2y plus 8. Simplify this again. And that's our final answer. Now I've got some practice questions here. If you could please pause the video and have a go at these, and we will go through them together once you're done. Okay, so let's go through these now. First question, we've got double brackets, so let's multiply out. Give us y squared minus 5y plus 4y minus 20. Let's simplify that. Gives us this for our final answer. Second question is single brackets. This question here looks like single brackets, but as discussed earlier, if you remember, if ever we have a bracket raised to the power of something, we need to rewrite the equation. So here we're raising it to the power of 2. So we're going to write out 2 brackets. And now multiply out. So now this has become double brackets. Gives us 4p squared again, simplify. Single brackets again. Here we've got double brackets. And as you can see, we've got some surds within here. So that gives us 2t squared minus 6t root 2 plus t root 2 minus 6. If we simplify this, so our final answer. And for the last question, again, double brackets. Plus 4n minus 4n is 0, so that cancels out. And we're left with this as our final answer. Okay, I hope you got all of those right. If not, redo these questions and try and find out where it was that you went wrong. Okay, for the last part of this video, we're going to be looking at expanding triple brackets. Now, we do this in 2 steps. So first, we need to expand 2 brackets together. And it can be any 2 of these brackets, but we can do the first 2 just to make it easy for us. And then once that's done, we then multiply this result with the remaining bracket. So let's go through it. We're going to multiply the first 2 brackets together. That gives us x squared plus 2x plus x plus 2 simplified leaves us with this. Now we need to take this result and multiply it by the remaining bracket. So what I like to do here is, when I'm writing the equation, to move this remaining bracket to the front, and then I will add in our result from part 1, just so it's a bit easier to see what we're multiplying. Okay, so now we're going to multiply this all across. Okay, so starting with the x, that is going to give us x cubed plus 3x squared plus 2x. Then the plus 3 is 3x squared plus 9x plus 6. I hope the change in color has made this a bit easier to visually see how we're splitting this up. And now to finally just collect the like terms. So there is only one x cubed here. So we're going to keep that. We can cross this off. X squared, we've got plus 3x squared here, plus 3x squared here. So that will give us plus 6 squared. Cross those out. Plus 2x plus 9x plus 11x. And lastly, plus 6. And that is our final answer. Moving on now to some practice questions. Again, if you can please pause the screen and have a go at these two, and once you're done, we'll go through them together. Okay, so let's go through the first one. We've got x minus 2 to the power of 3, and as discussed earlier, we're going to rewrite this as triple brackets. Okay, so they're all the same, so we're just going to multiply two of these together. Multiply them out. Now we're going to multiply this with the remaining bracket, and we're going to write that first as we did before. Now just to multiply these out. And now to collect the like terms, there's only one x cubed, so we're going to keep that as it is. Minus 4x squared minus 2x squared gives us minus 6x squared. Plus 4x gives us 8x. And we're left with minus 8. And that is our final answer. Moving on to the next question. I'm just going to multiply these first two brackets together. Now we're going to multiply that with the remaining bracket. Okay, so expanding this, we get x to the power of 3 minus 9x squared plus 20x plus 12x squared minus 108x plus 240. Now we just collect the like terms. Again, x cubed is on its own, so we leave that as is. Minus 9x squared plus 12x squared gives us plus 3x squared. Cross those out. Plus 20x minus 108x gives us minus 88x. And 240 there on its own. Okay, hopefully you got these questions correct. If you found any difficulty with any of these questions, even from the previous part, please re-watch the video and go through the methods step by step so you see where it is that you're getting these questions wrong. We've got a long video series here on algebra, so if you feel confident on this topic, well done. I'll see you in the next one.